What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, there were a ton of Marvel fans, myself included, who were pretty shocked to see Ryan Reynolds in full character recently as Deadpool in all his glory in what seemed to be his first MCU canonical appearance alongside Korg. Now, while this isn't the first time recently that Marvel Studios has used a co-advertisement with a different product to introduce new MCU canon, this is our first time seeing Deadpool in that way and alongside a very known MCU character, leaving us all to question, when are we finally going to get an announcement officially about the coming Deadpool 3 in the MCU? Well, on the same day that we got an official update from Ryan Reynolds, we also may have found out officially who's the director during interviews for the press junket for Free Guy. We're going to break down what Ryan Reynolds said about the filming on Deadpool 3, when it's likely to start, and we kind of know the director given an interview question he was asked and how he answered it. We're going to break down that as well. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're still giving away a PlayStation 5, Disney Plus subscriptions weekly while the shows are live, and announcing some brand new MCU giveaways next week. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit that subscribe button, then leave a comment down below, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So of course, the film Free Guy, owned by 20th Century, which used to be Fox, that's now owned by Disney, is the reason that we got that Deadpool alongside Korg performance in the first place, and they're all now on the press junket for that film. That's why they're getting a ton of Deadpool questions slipping through and getting asked of Ryan Reynolds. Recently, he was asked just yesterday about the chances they would actually start filming anytime soon, maybe even next year in 2022, and this is what Ryan Reynolds said about that possibility, quote, "The percentage chance, I don't know. I couldn't assign a percentage to that. I'd say it's 50-50 maybe. We're really actively developing it and getting it into pretty good shape." What the hell month is it? August? Oh, next year? Probably pretty damn good. I'd say 70%, which is actually really high when it comes to making films and tells us they are pretty far along in the pre-production process. We know they've been working on the script for a while at this point, but in order to start filming, you've got to have a director, which leads us over to yesterday's interview on the Inverse.com. Under the headline, exclusive, Sean Levy drops some huge clues about Real Steel 2 and Deadpool 3, an interview in which they point blank asked him about the rumors of his involvement, being in the running, and interest in directing Deadpool 3. These rumors have been going for a couple of months now, and this is what he had to answer point blank, and you guys can take this how you will, but quote, "I'm going to mostly skirt that question, which might be an answer. But I'll answer the last part of it, which is I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Deadpool, like a massive fan. I'm a fan of the Marvel Universe and the way in which increasingly individual filmmakers of real note can make and express their own voice and vision through the franchise behemoth, whether it's what Taika did with Ragnarok, what Eternals is going to be, what James Gunn did with Guardians. These are real films that also happen to be Marvel movies. And there's a few where I feel I know what to do with that. So we'll see." Now, obviously, the entrance to this quote is a very, very, very huge red flag. Marvel's very public MO recently is when you're asked about this sort of thing to not answer at all. Sean himself is even acknowledging that we're sort of catching on to what they're doing. That's why he said that might be an answer in and of itself. But I had to read that last part of the quote to myself a couple of times. It may have hit a little differently in person than it did via the text transcript. But so for the right title, because I only raise my hand on stuff I know what to do with, that's him basically saying he might not be the right guy for, say, Endgame or Infinity War or maybe some of the other films in the MCU, but for a movie like Deadpool, if he knows what to do with it, then he'd love to do that, to be a part of those directors who get to speak their own voice through Marvel Studios. And let's face it, he spoke about Deadpool with a massive amount of affinity during that quote, like a lot. I'm thinking there's a chance there's some truth to this rumor. We heard about it a couple of months back, and we know the writers from Bob's Burgers, the sisters Wendy and Lizzie Molyneux, have been working on that script since about November of last year. Once you have a script, you then present it to a director and hire him. So the timing on this would be correct, and then the fact that Ryan Reynolds would be so confident as to give a 70% that they could start actually filming next year, with how much is left to do after you hire the director as far as casting, set design, art department, there's still a lot of work. So him saying 70% basically means, at least to me, that a lot of the initial heavy lifting in development and pre-production have sort of been moved out of the way. That's why I think there's a lot of validity to this rumor that this is going to be the director. But as far as an announcement on the project, could we actually get that by the end of the year? That is still a huge unknown, especially considering we still don't know exactly the protocol for Disney and Marvel Studios or any of these movie studios moving forward until we get a ton more data from the box office. It's lucky enough for us, we've got Shang-Chi and Eternals both coming this year, hopefully Spider-Man No Way Home as well, which will give us the stats and the plot points we need to know if Marvel is going to push forward with all of these movies going forward, the same way they have basically 3 and 4 movies a year, or if they'll have to slow that down. But we know that their slate is basically full now through the middle part of 2023, and I've said at the channel a million times, they can't push this movie out forever. It's sort of like an Avengers 5 for me. You don't have a billion-dollar franchise and then let it sort of wait by the wayside for a decade before you bring it back. They're your moneymakers. Avengers, Deadpool, I can't believe it's actually taken them this long, considering the merger and then the delays with COVID. Maybe they need an exception, but Deadpool should have been at the top of the list as far as pushing it out because it's a known commodity, a moneymaker, something that was bringing in massive money for Fox before Disney picked them up, and one of the only characters from any of the other Marvel universes that still had anything going. Let's face it, that last X-Men movie was dead on arrival. Everybody knew it was bad before it came out. This is super exciting, though, to hear Ryan Reynolds give it any sort of certainty, 70% again being very high. Perhaps Sean Levy is the director. Either way, we know that the next huge slate announcement we reported on earlier this week is set to come at D23, which is only a couple months off, and if Ryan Reynolds isn't a lot more aware of how filming is going, I don't think we'll be getting a Deadpool 3 announcement with the next reveal or announcement for the upcoming projects. They still have so many in the pipeline that we have no promotion for and know very, very little about. Huge events like Secret Invasion, films coming 2 and 3 years from now. So again, maybe a little ways off from an announcement, but definitely exciting to hear that they're making these kind of moves. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below and reactions. How excited are you for Deadpool in the MCU? And with all of the possible storylines we've heard of, Deadpool kills the MCU, which character and or characters that already exist in the Marvel Cinematic Universe would you most like to see alongside Deadpool other than Cord? Let me know all your thoughts down below, and quickly let's get into the giveaway stuff again before I let you go. We're still giving away a PlayStation 5 now at 900,000 subscribers, weekly Disney Plus subscriptions while the shows are live, which will start up next week. We'll also announce some brand new MCU related giveaways. If you want to be entered to win, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber here at the channel, then make sure to leave a comment down below because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be randomly selected, then announced at the end of videos in the same segment we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with notifications turned on, and as always, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me over on Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, and iTunes, Amazon, wherever you listen to your original music under the name All Fires. Thanks so much for checking out the channel, guys, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.